Crusaders, welcome back. Today is a great day. 9.0 has dropped unexpectedly out of the blue, which is amazing. And I'm so glad Focus took this route by not saying anything to anybody. And that the last bit of information that we ever got from the studio is they're all on break until the end of winter. So I'm still pretty sure they're still on break or whatever the hell they're doing over there. But honestly, guys, I think this might carry us. I mean, I wish it was more cosmetics and stuff like that, but a lot of changes they have done is for the better. My experience thus far has been absolutely phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that because I love the game, but because this is what this updated needed all this time. Um, it's fun again. Plain and simple. It is fun to play Siege. The challenge is there, yet not overwhelming to the point where you're just like, I am trying to put on 10 layers of deodorant, switch my shirt out 3 or 4 times. It's none of that. It's actually a fun way to play Siege mode again, as well as operations, which I kind of dabbled in as well. Um, as well as what's on the patch notes, I also believe that there's something that they haven't added, and that is a secret buff and possibly a change to their AI. Well, to the AI, I should say, of the certain class that you're able to summon in. And I'm pretty sure you can guess it by this picture here, but we'll save that towards the end. All right, so starting from the top, Data Vault update was pretty cool. I like it, like the ordeal aspect of it. But now you don't have to grind every single PvP unless you're that person, which is cool. More power to you. But for me, I like to kind of take shortcuts here and there as much as possible. Obviously, um, I do like the grind, but not that intense, especially when it comes to the PvP operations. That's why I created the whole PvP video. If you haven't checked that out, pretty much tells you how to work private lobbies, which we'll kind of get into for PvP. Um, but I'm pretty sure through the live streams and everything else, you guys know my sentiments on PvP. Honestly, they should just take it out and use all those resources to the other two parts of the game. But that said, Data Vault thing's cool. You get to have those research center points and everything else like that. All right, so coming down to kind of the more of the meat potatoes of the whole thing, Assault. Finally, um, with the gameplay and balancing, Assault has finally given some love. Now, I'm not going to say 100%, but then again, I haven't really tried it out. Uh, that would be later on in one of my live streams. I'll tell you how it feels. But for right now, what I'm seeing on the patch notes, this looks absolutely amazing. Not amazing, but it looks good. Hopefully, it's amazing when we actually get into gameplay. All right, so assault ground pound damage, chain sword and power sword, ground pound damage increased to match power fist and thunderhammer's ones. That's huge. Um, and the whole what is it, Dimitri, game director dude? What he's saying is he wants more variety because of the one shot build, having the thunderhammer and power fist exclusively. Uh, that's great because then it adds that diversity where it's like, well, maybe I don't want to use the Thunder Hammer because it's slow, or maybe I don't want to use that Power Fist because I just feel limited in a certain way. Uh, Now you can use the Power Sword or Chain Sword as equal to those two other weapons. PvP melee weapons, balanced weapons have moderate damage and moderate speed. Fencing weapons offer the fastest speed to lower damage. Blocking weapons are slowest but deliver the highest damage. Now, for me, coming off fencing weapons from pretty much the start of the game until now, I have tried balancing, and I'm pretty sure it's a skill issue, but I do feel that the speed is there, not as fast as fencing, and the power is there, not as much as blocking. So it's really in a good spot. It's just for me, it's a skill issue that I have to keep practicing with and perfect it to try to hit those perfect parries and everything else like that. Um, TV firearm weapons, stats show that the firearms balance is in a good spot right now, and all the weapons are absolute viable. While some of the weapon archetypes are more popular and more effective than other ones, this patch we wanted to focus on actual versions balance. So just based on that first paragraph, I feel that most of the weapons I tried, I'm not even trying all of them. I mean, there's a whole list of everything there, Crusaders. So, I mean, you're more welcome. If you don't have the patch notes or haven't seen them yet, I'll link them down in the description below. But the ones I have tried are the Stalker Bolt Rifle, which is the headshot master. Uh, that thing is insane. And I'm not even maxed out the weapon. I think I'm on Artificer right now, and I'm dropping things 3 to 4 shots in, like completely melting them. Um, I did try the Bolt Carbine. Uh, Not really my style of things. Especially with that single shot version of it, not really my thing. Haven't tried the Oculus, the Meltagun, Last Fusel, or any of that stuff. The only one I ever tried, other one I have tried though was a heavy bolter, and I don't know if it's me. I'm not within range damage or what, but it's still like on paper, like I like what they did, but in game, it just feels like it's I don't know, no change for me. I would just leave it like that. Meltagun still feels pretty good. Um, Again, I'm not going for the faster shots or anything else like that, or range for the Melta. I mean, it is essentially their version of the shotgun, and shotguns are not made for range. So unless you have slugs, but that's different. That's I don't know, two different worlds. But yeah, for the for the Melta, uh, haven't really changed from what I'm using. Now for every other weapon, I really haven't tried it. If you guys have tried it, let me know down in the comments how the feel is and everything else like that. The pistols are feeling really good. The only one that I will never try though is the Inferno pistol. I feel it's not that guy, to put it essentially, to put it plainly. I don't know. It's just not for me. Maybe you like Crusaders. I don't know. All the other pistols I do like, even including the basic one that you first started off with, still feels pretty good. All right, so the class perk update. Obviously, the huge one here is the assault, which we've all been waiting for. And from what it looks like here, and like I said, I haven't personally tried it yet, but from what it looks like here is that Wing Fury, this perk has been reworked. The new version is damage from melee attacks executed while sprinting or dashes increases by 100% and deals area effect damage within a 7 meter radius. Uh, but that is not working. So all you're really getting is melee melee attacks executed while sprinting or dashing increases by 100%. So am I going to use Wing Fury unless I'm just dashing all over the place and trying to get 100% hit on each dash? I don't know. It's really not worth it as of this time until they get it fixed in the next patch. All the other perks that they're adding look amazing. Like I said, I'm not really going to talk about it. You can look at it. Hopefully, you test it yourself. Let me know how it feels. All right, so the heavy perk update, thermal boost has been reworked. A new vision is when range damage is 50% overheated or you have 50% ammo in magazine, range damage increased by 15. It's good for plasma. Will I be using it? I don't know, maybe. I'll try it, definitely. All right, so we go on to firearms. The Ox Grenade, the auxiliary grenade launcher, increased amount of grenades received for the grenade launcher from pickups from 50 to 75%. That's huge. Now, will I be using that version anymore? Um, unless I'm just going to be using it strictly for the grenades and nothing else. Yeah, I mean, that's great. You just get more grenades. But to that though, Crusaders, with that version of the bolt rifle, that decreases your accuracy. So I don't know. Is it a good trade? I feel it's a good kind of trade, like a real life world trade. I mean, when I had my M4 with the grenade launcher on it, it's yeah, you kind of do lose that accuracy because you do have a slightly more weight. Now, in this sense, a Space Marine, I don't think you should be losing any accuracy, but is what it is. I kind of like the change, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Haven't really messed with it. Inferno Pistol, yeah, you guys can read the patch notes on that. I really, like I said, not for me. Bolt Pistol, gun strike damage increases by 25%. Neo Volkite Pistol, contested health recovery has been greatly increased, and then now in line with the other pistol. That's good to hear. The Neo Volkite Pistol for me does have its place, especially for, say, Assault Bulwark, just because of the range that it has on it and the damage that it stacks upon, say, boss enemies like extremists and terminus level enemies. You're able to really tank that health bar faster than I feel than the other pistols that you would get. So the big one, combat quality of life. Added anti-stun lock heavy hit diminishing features, meaning if a player receives multiple heavy hits in quick succession, the duration of the next heavy hit will be reduced by 80%, and the duration of the third and subsequent heavy hits will be reduced by 60. Now, this is true, but because you're getting multiple hits by, say, 2 units, that third comes in, and they really haven't tested that out. Or say you get hit by another enemy, say from the left and not directly in front of you, you're really going to tank that damage, and it is almost getting one shotted. So while this is good if you're having two enemies head on, anything else surrounding you, especially in siege, yeah, you're gonna go down. So I don't know. Try to stay closer together. Uh, but in siege mode, I think everybody knows by now that that's pretty hard to do. Just because you get pulled away or you get, you know, in a frenzy and you're just going after everything that's kind of in your path anyway. So um that one is nice, but wish I could do something about the other damage while you're being stun locked, essentially. So I don't know. Maybe something in the future will come. Salt is now invulnerable during his ground pound landed animation. So I guess as soon as you hit the ground, you are now invulnerable. You are now invulnerable for damage, which is great because that you just get one shot at almost. So you come down the ground, it's like great. You hit the ground, now you're just taking a whole bunch of rain damage and you're dead. But it goes on saying that fix several issues with the power sword stance during certain animations. Charge progress of a plasma incinerator will no longer reset when heavy enters heavy stance. That's pretty cool. Lots of minor improvements to general responsive controls in combat. Um, that is huge because especially if you guys know in the higher levels or the higher waves in siege mode, it just feels like you're in quicksand and you're smashing, well, for me, the keyboard, right? So I use C for my parry button, and I'm smashing the hell out of that thing, and still I get rocked. Um, I did kind of notice that went away, but I don't know. There's always room for improvement. All right, so heading on into siege mode. Siege mode shop balance tweaks. Guardian relics is now reduced from 300 to 2. That's huge. Like all these, first off, Crusaders, all these changes that they made are amazing. All right. Armor kit reduced from 60 to 30. Dreadnought, the big one, 15 to 1250. That is huge. Now you don't have to feel like you're wasting your money. And I'm telling you right now, Crusaders, I'll just get into it later. Guardsmen, um, bought them for fun. Now I actually buy them to really help out. And they really pack a punch. Not like an insane amount of damage, but they will get an enemy into an executable stance. You know, at least in the earlier levels. In the later levels, if you put damage on them, or in the waves, I should say, later waves, if you put damage on them, they could take them to an executable stance, no problem. But yeah, they reduce the cost for the guardsmen as well as buffing their HP and damage by 50% for normal and 100% for hard. And I'm telling you now, Crusaders, I'm buying guardsmen. Not only are they fun, you know, to have that interaction, to feel like there's more of the world within Siege than just 3 Space Marines. So I like that aspect. Dreadnought time increased from 3 to 5 minutes, which is huge, huge. And then streamlined terminus enemy spawn logic after the 16th wave. So every third wave can spawn 1 to 2 terminus enemies. Every fifth wave can spawn 2 to 3 terminus. I feel this is a great change. Now you can kind of predict what's happening instead of like, oh, we're at wave 18, maybe we'll get 1 or 2. Now we already know, so that's huge. Also fixed multiple issues with enemy spawns, issues with enemies getting stuck. That's a huge, huge, huge one, Crusaders, because that has not only hurt a lot of our runs, but now, I mean, there's some ways you can kind of tease it a little bit, but now it's a fixed issue, and hopefully no more spoiled runs. Um, Fixed issues not being able to progress in next sector. Yeah, that goes hand in hand. Minor issues with siege level geometry and collision. That hopefully that's why all those enemies used to get stuck before. Completing waves as assault class will now unlock Infernal Pistol skins. That's cool. Whatever. All right, so PvP is what it is. I mean, they made some changes, but what I'm really kind of interested in is the XP is recalculated with the amount of experience required to earn rewards has been reduced. That's a step in the right direction. New levels added. We're expanding the progress system. New max levels 44. That's cool. Like I said, my sentiments with the PvP in general should just be taken away and whatever. But they're not going to do it. It's already done. All right, so finishing up in the conclusion, AI fixed Northrop dealing too much damage with its beam attack. Yeah, just blasting all the way down the hall and just hitting you, even though you know that you're out of its range of that stupid ass beam. Lictor can spawn invulnerable. This hasn't happened to me, but Booty Snatcher has said that he's ran into this. Cultist sniper firing twice in some rare cases. That's 100% true. I ran into this, and those cultist snipers just need to be taken out of the game. Lots of minor animation fixes for various enemies and customization. Now, for me, and probably you Crusaders, this is huge. Just because a couple updates ago, when I think it was like 8.0, when you couldn't put anything behind, say, an armor piece that had the skull on it, and you couldn't put any company markings, squad markings behind it, and it kind of took away the whole enjoyment of that. So they reverted that, thank God, and that's great. A couple of general fixes. Gunstrike prompt may not appear after perfect repair in some cases. That's happened to me multiple times. Multiple times. Battle focus burst not triggered by perfect parry block or perfect parry in some rare cases. That's 90%. Blocking weapons, I don't use them, so yeah. VFX of explosions and smoke displayed to players in the form of large orbs in some rare cases. That has happened to me a lot recently, um, where just it's all pixelated and you can't see through anything. Um, I'm glad they fixed that. Lots of minor animation fixes for the player. PvP private lobby fixes, that's cool. Minor UI and whatever. So tech fix some of the technical issues, fixed crashes, and general stability improvements, matchmaking, and network stability fixes. When I was playing the second time around on Siege mode, it felt like I was always on the verge of DCing. Like it was just right on the verge. And it wasn't until I had to restart my game to actually get it to not do that anymore. So maybe they actually fixed it. So we'll see about the servers and everything. And the network connection issue, that little bar that's always on the top, either yellow and then turns red and back to yellow. So we'll see. Um, but it doesn't unfortunately fix the top number one server crash that plagues our community in siege mode right now. That has been very difficult to identify and been working solution since 8.1. So I'm glad that they're aware of it and that they are trying to fix it. And hopefully maybe 9.2 or whatever update they decide to come up with helps fix this problem. Um, but back to the very beginning of what I was saying with a certain uh, secret buff I want to feel that they didn't really cover in this is none other than Voltus. Now, probably seen in the gameplay already in the background, Voltus has finally became a dreadnought that he was supposed to be in all this time. Uh, what else can I say? This is a dreadnought that we've been wanting this entire time instead of just standing in one spot and not knowing what the hell is going on. Um, and that's what I mean by a secret buff to his AI or his pathing, something along the lines. Also, his damage feels like a damn dreadnought, you know. And it's not in this footage, but when me and Snatcher were playing, he took out 3 Carnifexes in a matter of 5 seconds. So yeah, Voltus is back. And I'll be buying Voltus, even though I was trash talking him ever since the beginning of Siege. So I'm excited. I'll be calling him Voltus. I'll be calling in Voltus and the Guardsman. Uh, but yeah, I'm really liking this stream. But before we take off Crusaders, just one more thing. I did do a idea for the Focus Together website, and it reads, "Can you add or create an armor piece for siege mode when you hit Sector 5, either on either difficulty, or a certain wave, say 25 or 30?" Um, but to this, if you do hit Sector 5 or a certain wave on hard difficulty, you should have more drip to it than you would achieve on normal. I feel this would be incentive for players to strive for higher levels as a reward for those who have already hit those waves, hit those harder waves like me. I was thinking of a leg or arm piece. Um, Crusaders, if you like this idea, go on the website, do the whole upvote thingy, and hopefully they'll start paying attention to it. Um, I feel like, yeah, they already have Pimple Helmet, everybody likes to talk about at wave 15 on hard, but I feel that there should be something more once you get into 25 or 30, especially on hard. I mean, if you guys were able to get to that level, it's a sweat fest. And I got my deodorant right by my desk, ready to go because, man, or at least a change of shirt. If you know, you know. But yeah, I mean, when you do get up to those harder difficulties, especially on hard, it is, it's one thing to hit wave 30 and you're like, oh man, we did it. But to get a reward out of it, other than some, and I hate to say this, a lame ass weapon skin, it just feels underwhelming. So, uh, if you Crusaders don't mind hopping on the thing and trying to upvote this, I think you can. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I hope you've been enjoying the new update, siege mode, operations, or hell, even PvP if that's your thing. Um, but yeah, so this is a nice, pleasant surprise from Focus. Finally, I think stepping in the right direction after that whole thing with the other studios shutting down. This is a win for them. But I'll stop yapping. Hope you enjoyed the update, and I'll catch you in the live stream Thursdays. See you, Crusaders.